Is quite confident about the party's performance in so many parts of the country, but she's here really just to tell us her reaction. So thank you so much indeed, Ms. de Lille, for your time. So first and foremost, your performance so far, your fleeting reaction.
First, I have to put on record that we have only participated in 5 provinces, 45 municipalities, and then 6 metropolitans. So the results is trickling in. It's still very early, but it's also the first time as the good party that we are participating in local elections. So we'll be very happy with growth. And I've seen that some of the results, the unofficial results that has come in, there are performance in 2 of the metropolitans, Nelson Mandela Bay and also the city of Cape Town. There we've shown some growth. And so we're still waiting on the others to come in.
And just once again, Ms. de Lille, obviously these elections have been characterized by a myriad of challenges, from the devices, from some of the voters not in the voters' roll. From your party's perspective, what would be your advice to the IEC to make sure that they get their ducks in a row? And I mean, albeit it's been a tough time, 42 days to prepare this big occasion.
Exactly. You know what? I've been campaigning many times since 1994. This was the most difficult because you almost had to sit down with every voter and to explain and convince the voter why it's important to vote. The IEC performance, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt until the end of the elections. But, you know, just to have 70,000 people that took the time to go and register on the last registration weekend, not on the voters' roll, caused chaos yesterday. We had to phone the IEC and report that people do not appear on the voters' roll. They finally fixed that later in the afternoon, and we were able to go and fetch those voters to bring them back. But I think, and also the counting has been painfully slow this time around. I do understand that too, but we have to look more at electronic mechanism to run our elections to make it more smoother.
And just before I let you go, ma'am, in terms of your projections so far, obviously, I mean, it's still early days, but what do you make, especially your performance in areas like the Western Cape, in Cape Town and others? Do you think you still have more prospects of, causing a bit of havoc and clinching some certain seats there?
Well, you know what? Yesterday, the voters were the judges. They judged all of us, and I will respect, once they've spoken. But I do know that certainly we will be picking up some seats, especially PR seats. Just how many is just too early to say. I think by 5 o'clock today we'll have a much, much clearer picture.
And just a quick one. Obviously, we know the coalition politics has become a reality in South Africa. So many metros in 2016, and in all likelihood, we may see a similar picture as well. What would be your party's role to that score in making sure that the residents' needs are prioritized? Because obviously, I mean, these coalitions are always marred by infightings and, all kinds of controversies. But as good, do you think you'll be a good partner, as it were?
No, definitely. I think if you judge the 2016 coalitions as a good example of how things should not be done, we will engage with political parties if we are approached. We will put certain conditions that we must all commit ourselves to fighting corruption. Secondly, we must put the people first. But thirdly, also, a coalition means that no single party received a 50% plus one. And therefore, we are together in like a marriage. And therefore, there have to be respect the way we treat each other. So we will engage with, those are some of our conditions, but coalitions has become part of the trajectory of local government.
All right, so Ms. de Lille, thank you so much for your time. So Desiree, she says coalition government really has become part of our trajectory, and in all likelihood, I mean, by all accounts, it's going to be quite a massive challenge to try and make sure that those marriages really are intact and really prioritize the needs of the people in South Africa who are desperately crying for those basic services. So back to you.
Thank you so much, Khaya. I was saying earlier, that we were speaking to the CSIR and they were giving us projections that have come out